Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching. The channel's called Ratchet. My name's Andrew, and on this episode of my GT40 restoration, it's a good one. Run the title. Welcome to the channel if you're new. If you're not, thank you for tuning back in for yet another episode. As I've mentioned, it's a good one. I've already filmed the content for this video, so I'm just doing the bookends and the little bits and pieces. But looking at the car over my right shoulder, it's starting to look pretty smart, if I do say so myself. In this episode, I get the pedal box installed, I get the radiator mocked up, pipes cut, hoses fabricated, I get the front scuttle installed, so all of the paneling at the front gets completed. I then move down to the back, finish off the rear paneling, so that is all 80 odd panels fitted to the car. That all gets covered in this episode. And then right at the very end, there is a little glimpse of some green bits going onto the car. As always, please do hit the subscribe button. I hope this series is starting to get really interesting now the build is starting to come together. Leave me a comment. I always really do like reading what you guys think about the project and how things are progressing. Follow me on Instagram, Ratchet GT40, for all of the latest build photos, yada yada yada. Anyway, I think that's enough of the waffling. Let's crack on with the episode. I wanted to revise how the radiator was bolted in. Now previously it was just drilled and bolted through the chassis legs, those vertical chassis legs that you can see. Wanting to incorporate isolation pads between the chassis and the radiator, that kind of got me thinking that if I fit some M8 riv nuts into the chassis, that would then allow me to fit in my isolation pads and then fit the radiator. So unfortunately, a bit of a casualty is I've now got a couple of little blanking grommets to the outside of the chassis or the outside of the paneling. But anyway, I think that's just a minor bit of collateral damage in otherwise a fairly decent bigger picture of how much this is going to smarten up the installation. You know the formula of how these panels are fitted, so I won't go through the process again. It's nice to finally get these panels fitted for the final time because it really does frame out the inside of this chassis and creates that end vision that I've had all along. Getting the isolation bobbins screwed into place then allows me to move on to fitting the radiator, making sure everything lines up nicely, which it did. So following that, I was then able to get onto the next stage, and that was to cut down the pre-formed silicone elbows that I bought to suit the length and the angles that I need to get everything plumbed up nicely in the front of the car. Now I've got the silicone hoses cut and everything mocked up into place, what I actually need to do now is remove the radiator and take out of the car the copper coolant lines, because what I now need to do is solder on the end of these 35mm olives, so when the pipe goes over, obviously I can then Jubilee clip behind it with the olive acting as my swage.
The next day.
I've got the pedal box installed, lots of faffing around, but it's now in for good. This is a Southern GT pedal box that has been modified to fit the Tornado chassis. The Tornado chassis has been modified to work around the pedal box, so there's been all sorts of work going on. But this is as it's going to sit. There's going to be nothing else in this front end other than the fire extinguisher bottle. Everything else is going to be bare. So super happy with how this has all come together. So you'll have to forgive me for not sharing the fitting of these top panels with you. At the time there was a few things testing my patience, so I just wanted to knuckle down and get it done without having to worry about filming pieces of video for you guys, so I'm sorry about that. But here you can see the top scuttle panels all fitted up, bonded and riveted into place, taking care of the front end completely. Before I bonded on those panels, I did fit the heater and everything just to give me the best chance of having full access to everything I needed. So even though everything is still removable with the panels in place, it was just easy to fit without them. Jumping around to the back side, again, I wasn't going to bore you with the process because you know it by now, but I got fitted all of the rear bulkhead panels, everything pulled up lovely as I designed and fabricated. So as always, really pleased about that. And seeing these panels fitted, being the last panels, it was the real icing on the cake and a huge step forwards. So that is the panelling, I would say about 99.7% finished. Other than two under tray panels and the three little panels that get fitted along the centre tunnel, that's it, done and dusted. There were no fireworks, no fanfare, no angels calling down when I fitted the last piece. It's just another job done. Move on to the next 150 things that are on the list. Now, I suppose the biggest elephant in the room from watching that montage is the fact that there is the spider, a very green spider sat on top of the chassis, and that's what I want to get onto next. I want to try and start getting some of this bodywork fitted. The back half of the body is still at the body shop and I'm expecting it back soon, so I've got the spider that I can get bolted down. That then means I can start looking at getting the windscreen bonded back in, moving on to the doors, etc, etc. So there's still an absolute ton of work for me to crack on with while I'm waiting for that back half. Now, before I move on to trying to get this spider fitted, there are a couple of little details that I wanted to show you in relation to the back end panelling, the inner panelling. Again, a few details that will be lost forever, and it will be just nice to explain to you guys, again, just so you can see what sort of thought has gone into this build. So let me show you what's going on. Now, I think by now you'll know I'm on the hunt to make the back end of this car look as empty as possible. Now, by that I mean the only thing that I'm hoping will be visible is the engine, gearbox, header tank, and if you look very closely, you'll be able to see the brake lines running around at low level, and that's about it. Now, in order to do that and making sure that this car still remains as serviceable as possible at any time possible, I've had to try and think a little bit further into the future to cover off any bases that might come up. So for example, these top triangular aluminium panels are actually removable because what passes through the chassis into that void is a suspension bolt that picks up the top tie rod or the top tie arm. So if I ever need to completely take the suspension off, I can remove that panel and get access to the nut. These bottom two panels that you see down here, these were going to be riveted on, but at the last minute I decided to make these removable. And that is basically because the wiring loom runs down the centre of the car. The main portion of the loom splits off and runs down the driver's side chassis. But what I wanted to do was split off a small portion that feeds the necessary bits and pieces on the passenger side. So that splits off. Because I wanted everything to be hidden, they run in the void between the inner and outer skin of chassis panelling. Now, should there ever be an electrical fault and I need to take this loom out completely or whatever. I can remove these lower panels, which then will allow me to feed all of the loom from the back of the car through to the front and get it out. You know, this is hopefully never going to need to happen, but I don't want to box in something that is then going to be stuck on or in the car forever. Yet more little things to cover off. I don't think I've mentioned before that, but I made new body mounts for the rear of the Spider. Now, the car previously came with two L brackets that bolted to the top of the hoop of the chassis, which then bolted to the underside of the Spider. Now, I wanted to do something a little bit more subtle, a little bit more stealth. So what I did do was actually make up 3 smaller brackets and weld those to the chassis. So when the Spider's sat on, you'll barely see those. These have had some very thin rubber stuck to them to act as an insulator between the metal bracket and the underside of the Spider, because I don't want any chafing or squeaking and scratching of paint, in all honesty. So those are 3 little brackets that now hold the main hoop of the Spider super rigid, and I'm really happy with how those have come out. Something else to pick up with you guys by way of a little detail worth mentioning is many videos ago I covered off the fact that I bead rolled a 45-degree chamfer in this back panel around the window to try and give it more of a finished edge. Now, a few videos ago I touched on the fact that I'd rolled a 90-degree edge on the inner bulkhead panel. So what I wanted to do was replicate that on the outer panel, which I have done, but that has meant I had to rethink how I was going to fit the screen because it didn't work with the old surround. So this screen is now actually bonded in, and because I didn't want to remake this rear panel, the rivets around the perimeter are now purely decorative because this screen is bonded in. Really happy with how it's pulled up against the reveal. It looks really smart. There's no adhesive that's oozed out. It just looks really nice and clean. So I think this is the only example on this car of where I have built myself into a bit of a dead end where I can't actually remove this rear screen. So if it ever breaks, I'm going to have to get creative, and goodness knows what I'll do. Let's not even think about that one. So just to leave you on the edge of your seat, I'm not actually going to fit the Spider in this episode. I'm going to save that until the next episode. So make sure you do tune back in for that one, because I'm hoping seeing it sat in place with, you know, surrounding all the paneling, it's really going to start taking shape and start to look something special. Please hit the subscribe button. We're over 1,000 subscribers now. Let's romp on and get to the next 1,000 nice and quickly. So I think that pretty much covers everything. Up until the next video, I will catch you next time.